Hello, everybody. I apologize. I'm a few seconds later than I tend to be, so I'm going to give it another 10 seconds and then begin with our Leadership Power Paradigms episode for today. Uh, let's see. We're almost at that point. Almost at that point. Okay, this is Bill Thomas, so I'm going to begin our slide presentation. And if you give me a quick second. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your executive guide and performance improvement advisor, if you will. And in less than 14 minutes, you will learn how you can easily use your own leadership power to increase the creativity of your people. You'll see how to rejuvenate and recalibrate your thinking, and you will understand why you must invigorate and reinvigorate the passions of your strategic intentions. Just think, if each and every leadership act that you take results in or produces something new, something better, something improved, something made more useful, something that's renewed and restored, something which operates at greater efficiency, something stronger or has increased strength, or even something that cheers up or brings joy to other people, don't you think people would consider and see you as a creative, innovative, or transformational leader? As a leader, you need to begin seeing, thinking, and believing yourself to be both a social scientist or social engineer, as well as an imaginative artist or aesthetic artisan. Just as author and professor Isaac Asimov observed, both the sciences and the arts use many of the same cognitive skills and emotionally intelligent processes to pursue their aim. Imagination, intuition, instruction, interpretation, interrogation, inferring, inspection, introspection, investigation, interaction, influence, innovation, and a deep understanding of the metaphysical universe will serve leaders well in the days, conditions, and realities ahead of us. A virtual tidal wave of complexity is gathering itself and gaining momentum and heading to each and every one of our shores. Are you and your team ready to handle that level of volatility, uncertainty, and disruptive forces? In May of 2010, the IBM Corporation released its results of 1,541 face-to-face interviews with CEOs, general managers, and leaders of business, government, and NGOs, MPOs, and community service organizations. Their survey revealed how CEOs saw complexity as their primary challenge. In fact, the leaders agreed their operating environments were becoming substantially more volatile, uncertain, and complex. The CEOs believe that small or incremental changes can no longer deal with the challenges of the world, which is operating in fundamentally different ways. Nearly 80% of CEOs expect the level of complexity in the world to greatly increase, with external factors such as markets, technology, the economy, people's skills, regulations, and globalization being major contributors to the depth and amounts of complexity. Perhaps you have heard of Perhaps you have heard of the term thought leader. Most of us usually think of those thought leaders as authors, scientists, engineers, political or management consultants, or professors, and so on. However, you too must become a thought leader when it comes to studying, learning, and understanding the principles of leadership itself, social systems, human behavior and psychology, management sciences, economics, organizational dynamics, and that's just to name a few of these essential subject matters. Even if a leader, even if leadership is intellectually simple, as the editors of management-issues.com believe, that is no excuse for being intellectually lazy, mentally incompetent, or imaginatively deficient. At the end of the day, leaders must be intelligently responsible for all their beliefs and emotions, thoughts, deeds, words, and plans. The commitments made by your followers to your leadership demands that you fully employ every bit of intuition, experience, knowledge available to you, your associates, and your community of stakeholders. It also stands to reason that involving a cognitive structure in your practice of leadership might help boost your effectiveness in a few ways. If you had a template, blueprint, or operational model of your cognitive leadership duties, you might see improvements in everything and everyone's performances. So we can view cognitive leadership as consisting of a series of inputs, engines, and outputs, which leaders employ to reason, decide, evaluate, assess, judge, learn through, think about, or think on, and so on and so forth. For example, you could use your engine of you could use your engine, which is basically your mind, and your actions, as a carburetor, such as a device that is a tool, process, or template for mixing vaporized fuel, combining or blending distilled or refined forms or blocks of information with air or raw data such as facts, figures, or fictional information to produce a combustible or explosive mixture or a bigger or expanded knowledge artifact. You could also use your mind in the practice as a harvester in the practice, process, or act which enables a gain, a win, an acquisition, or use of a prize, product, or result of any past act, process, plan, or etc. Or you could use that harvester to catch, to take, or to remove and replace for use of any idea. Your creativity can be rejuvenated, restored, renewed, and refreshed through the discipline of mapping the energy flows, the biologic processes, and the ecological signatures which are affecting the conditions and entities within your ecosystem which can lead to removals of impurities and injections of nutritional sustenance. In a word, you can improve the integrity, the performance, and strength of your organization using this method while avoiding the drastically messy surgical reductions in workforce, painful facility closures, and fragile austerity measures. You can use this worksheets like this one to examine, evaluate, and enhance the people, policies, processes, the 40 plus eccentric motive forces propelling human behaviors, the four dimensions of human activity, as well as the 16 quantum signatures of all 40 forces operating in the environs of your team, your department, or organization. It's simple, really. The only type of energy that will always make the critical difference and give you a competitive advantage is information based. With information, you will give, sustain, replicate, or rebirth and enhance or energize the life and the life forces of your organization. What leaders have to do to be more effective in their work are these actions. You need to communicate and coordinate everyone's understanding and learning, which is the alignment of their personal with the organization's values or beliefs. The parameters for a safe, secure, stable working environment and customer products and services. The morality and philosophy of the enterprise and its relations with the greater society and its stakeholder communities. Many of the actions you see on this slide are the same types of actions that leaders like Steve Jobs, Mother Teresa, and Mahatma Gandhi employed in their own work. Let's not forget that we are taking on the responsibilities, rigors, and requirements of travel to explore and examine the shapes and structures of the many challenges, complexities, and conundrums facing today's leaders. We hope to discover or identify the most clearly marked signposts, indicators, and milestones which can show and direct us away from any pitfalls, roadblocks, or obstacles that could prevent us from reaching our goals and objectives. Because our efforts are not rooted in some fantasy or mythological tale of high adventure, we'll need to embrace a philosophy of noble ideals, which includes compelling reasons for our being leaders and doing leadership acts which must be based upon a sincere yet inspired dissatisfaction with our current circumstances, problems, progress, or lack of opportunities. Leaders must always coach, counsel, train, consult with, mentor, challenge, guide, and empower their people and themselves at all times with their total dedication, devotion, and best efforts. I ask you, are you using an executive or personal coach to help you improve your leadership effectiveness and your performances? CEOs now realize that creativity trumps other leadership characteristics. Creative leaders are comfortable with ambiguity and experimentation. To connect with and inspire a new generation, they lead and interact in entirely new ways. Are you leading creatively? How will you develop the critical capabilities to enhance creativity among your leadership team? In what ways can you explore, reward, and globally integrate diverse and unconventional points of view? What is your approach to challenge every element of your business model to get the most from currently untapped opportunities? How will you leverage new communication styles, technologies, and tools, both to lead a new generation of talent and encourage breakthrough thinking? What areas of the organization need to be worked on? Where will your innovative and creative opportunities yield the greatest impact? Why will you need to be more creative and innovative? When will your creativity and innovational efforts produce the highest payoffs? How can the products of your employees' imaginations discover and best optimize the new things or improvements your customers and industry hope for from your organization? This ends today's lesson. Now, what you're looking at also at this point in time is just a very brief sketch of the agenda for our legendary leadership power tutorials and coaching monthly performance improvement support program. Yeah, I know that's quite a mouthful, but it shows you what you will learn, practice, and master in this program. Plus, of course, what will also happen is you will also have two 75 to 90-minute group coaching sessions every month. And I'm going over to let me go over to my control panel here. Okay, while that's happening, great. And if you click on the button there, it'll take you to a page which will explain all of this and a lot more than what I'm going to explain, but very briefly. Um, the um, the program also includes 60 minutes of one-on-one private coaching and tutoring follow-up sessions with me, Bill Thomas, and that's always something that's very helpful since I tend to be pretty good at helping my clients improve their performance and understand where they need to adjust their behaviors, their mindsets, their skills. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that. Most of you guys know that I have been a leader, practicing leader for 45 years now, plus, and that I have devoted more than 25,000 hours to studying leaders and teaching and guiding and coaching and oh boy, uh, it, leaders as well. So I think I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we will. But during our one-on-one coaching sessions, that's where you and I can share notes, ideas, diagrams, strategies, exercises, case studies, etc. Plus, every month I'll be mailing you links to, as well as your own copy of a DVD or a CD, which will always be filled with useful ebooks, papers, reports, video, and audio tutorials. And that, of course, is part of the reading that you have to do, sort of self-study, because that's very important. If you're not learning, you are not leading. Okay, I know that. I learned that a long time ago myself, and most leaders will agree with that. Okay, I know Jack Welch believed that too. He knows that, hey, the second you stop learning, you might as well say you're not a leader, because you're not leading anymore if you're not learning. Anyway, I'm preaching to the choir, I'm sure, but anyway, yeah, this program has quite a bit to it. I like to say that it's like you are getting a university level PhD uh, in leadership and practical management uh, for less than a tenth of the cost of that kind of university program. So I want to encourage you to enroll, or at least check it out. When you click on the button that says enroll and get started now, it will actually open up a new window or a new tab in your browser, so that you don't lose this page and you can take a look at that program later on. Okay. Um, let's see. Looking for questions. Seeing no questions. Seeing no real opinions at this point in time, or comments at this point in time. But of course, I know that what happens is a lot of you guys wait for the replay. And if you are watching the replay, well, all you need to do is to just go down to the bottom there where it says enter your question. And when you submit it, it will email me directly with your question, with your email address, with your name, as you signed up. Basically, our system knows, who you are. So, yeah, just send any question that you want. And what most people find are one of two things: either I will call you if you provide me with your Skype number or your phone number. Um, yeah, if you provide me with your phone number if you're in North America, and your Skype ID if you're outside of North America, or even if you're in North America, you can use Skype as well. And I'm more than happy to say hi, how are you, and to provide some of my ideas for answers to the question that you might have asked, or any other question you might have as well. Also, if you don't have any access to Skype, or you don't really feel comfortable using Skype and you don't want me to call, well, you don't have to include your phone number or Skype ID inside that question box, but you would have to do that, because in most cases I don't have that information. I only have your email and your name. So yeah, if you want me to give you a call, you can do that. Otherwise, you'll get an email reply from me, and that reply will usually have some of my ideas for answers to the question that you asked me. Okay. So anyway, that's for you replay people. And for the rest of you, I say, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us today. And Godspeed to you, and all the very best of successes to you in all your leadership endeavors. This is Bill Thomas saying so long until our next episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. Goodbye.